Dear passengers together against corona, keep distance, cover mouth and nose.
The argument about masks here is over. Since late last month, people have been directed to wear them on public transport. And navigating our way around Germany's capital city in recent days, we can't help noticing that's just one aspect of a very distinctive approach.
Well, public transport here is a little different to the UK. Firstly, social distancing since the beginning of this has only been 1.5 metres in Germany, not 2, as in the UK. Secondly, they've just made it a rule that you have to wear face masks on all public transport here in Berlin. Off we go.
This week, the emphasis of German government policy has shifted from securing public transport to reopening much of what's been shut since mid-March.
Morning. How are you?
But those making the decisions are all too aware that if they head off on the wrong track and there's a fresh wave of infections, the consequences could be disastrous.
This is not only a deeply humanitarian argument, it is, when I speak in my capacity as Minister of the Economy, it's also an economic argument, because when you have to switch from liberalizing to shut down again, and this 2 or 3 times, then it would have disastrous consequences for the economy. The virus certainly will be back in winter, but if we can, by applying testing, by providing a tracing app, a voluntary one, by providing best available medical care, then we can keep new cases as low as possible.
Yesterday, we turned up at 10 a.m. as thousands of shops reopened. It was meant to be just smaller businesses, but this department store didn't want to miss out and mounted a successful legal challenge. Masks are obligatory here too, but everybody came prepared. The customers seem to have accepted that in the coronavirus world, retail therapy has become riskier.
Damit die Corona-Krise weitergehen kann, muss ich mich zu Hause beschäftigen.
We have to be careful. I think with the mask it's a really good idea, but hopefully it works.
Across the city, at the Max Planck Institute for Infection Biology, experts are hoping to adapt an existing tuberculosis vaccine to help treat COVID-19. What the scientists here know is that Germany can move faster in relaxing its restrictions because it's been better at getting on top of the virus from the start, due to its large testing capability and a certain amount of luck.
I think the word serendipity, which we don't have really in German, is a good word for that. So there was a prepared mind. We were lucky. We were in a situation where people immediately realized this can become a big problem, and I think that is really our advantage here. The very first small outbreak, when people had come back from China, that was recognized immediately, diagnosed correctly in the broadest sense of wording, and then controlled.
But are they now pushing their luck? Much of the economy, 75% the government says, never locked down. Now that so many shops are reopening, Germany's fearsome testing capability is being applied to warn of any increase in infections as a result.
Well, there have been moments where I wished we would have had even more testing capacities. But after all, I conclude that the medical sector in Germany was able to develop and to increase testing capacities rapidly. And that means we had clearer numbers, we had better pictures, and I expect a step-by-step approach that we continue with liberalizing certain activities as long as infection rate remains low and under control.
And you don't see any sign of the infection rate rising?
Not so far, you know. But in total, you have a decline in the number of infections for now at least 4 weeks in a row.
Southwest of the capital, in Potsdam, they're preparing for the next phase of this. The Barberini Museum will reopen its doors tomorrow.
And you see, the visitors have safe places here in the exhibition where the spots are.
1/3 as many visitors at a time and subject to social distancing.
We in museums, we always keep distance because we need to keep distance to the precious works of art. And now, as curators and directors, we have to take our white gloves and put the people on the right spot. So we handle the works with respect and with white gloves, and now we have somehow to handle our visitors also with white gloves.
Germany then relies on data, masks and tracing. Filming in recent days, we've been asked many times to fill out forms designed to help contact trace if someone develops the virus.
It's policy right now, so you just have to sign that you don't have a fever and this kind of stuff.
An app is on its way also, but these methods have helped the country since the start. And at St. Afra, a church where public services resumed yesterday, congregants also had to give tracing details as they arrived. The pews have been marked for distancing, and hymns are not sung because doing so might spread viral particles further. But those seeking solace in communal prayer can do so again.
Of course, Holy Communion is a tricky point. So what you do is I disinfect my fingers before every Holy Communion. Of course, it's at the risk of the one who comes forward, but I think they're fully aware and they're very disciplined.
This society seems to have faith in its political and scientific leaders to guide them out of this, and to understand that this path contains risk and that they're happy to accept it. So far at least, Germans have had no reason to doubt their government's doctrine.